Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Kelsey?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Just living life.
There's a little hesitation there. I don't know if I'm convinced.
Good, okay. You know, summer was in there.
Yeah. So what's going on? What do you want to talk about today?
Honestly, I'm just like so overwhelmed with life. Like, it's insane. Like, I don't know. Like, yesterday with the midterm, that was absolutely horrible. And then I had a horrible day at work, and then I have to take the exam, and I have like accommodations where like I get assigned time, but then I can also take it outside of the classroom. But Barrett like didn't, like she didn't even take it in the classroom, which is like it threw me off, and I was like, not after this day. So then I don't know, like I just lost it yesterday, and then the exam was horrible, and I already have like the worst anxiety about grades and how I do.
Yeah.
And then being here today, I'm just like, I want to go home.
Just curl up in a ball,
Yeah.
in the fetal position. So I'm hearing a lot of stress, for sure. How was that experience? I'm curious to know, sitting in the class and taking it in that manner.
I hated it. I think it like made things so much worse, which is also why I thought the exam was so horrible. Like, I don't know. I feel like with Barrett, and like she like always rushes me. Like she does like come in like an hour before, and I'm like, well, if you're giving the class an hour and a half, like, why would you give me like an hour to take the exam? Like, it's my separate, like that's my separate space. She's like, oh, they'll be done in an hour and a half, but then it's like that. Like, I have more time. Like, so then I just am like super stressed about it. Like, I haven't taken an exam in the class since like freshman year of college.
Wow.
So I was just like so overwhelmed, and I was just like, this is too much for me.
So how did you deal with that?
I mean, I did it anyways because I feel like I didn't have a choice, and I didn't want to be a pain in the ass. So I just sucked it up. But like mentally, I was just like then I couldn't even read the questions, and I was like, I can't even understand them. And then I was like, whatever, I have to finish this.
So focusing, distraction, and
Like I couldn't comprehend anything. Like I was like, I'm reading this, I cannot, like I can't comprehend what it's asking me, and then the question, like, and then everyone was like, questions were crazy. I'm like, well, I just thought it was me because I was in like such a bad place, like yesterday taking the exam, but
yeah,
it just flowed then. I don't know, it's just like too much. I just hate exams. And I was wishing that I was taking it somewhere else, and I didn't. So
yeah. I mean, it sounds like between having work stress and the exam stress,
yeah, that was
you
like.
were done.
Yeah, no, I was so done. I was like, I just want to go home, and then we have to stay there for another hour and a half after. I'm like, like this is horrible. Like I was like panicking. It was too much. Like I have to laugh that out now because I was like literally like panicking. Like I was just like,
Yeah, I'm hearing.
I'm surprised I didn't walk out.
So that crossed your mind, actually leaving.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was just like, I'm about to leave right after this. Then I was like, I'm already here. Like I already took it. Like what am I doing? You're just being stupid. So then I sucked it up and I did it anyway. I don't know. I feel like lately I've just been like super hard on myself anyways. Like, with schoolwork, with work, like just trying to live.
Well, I know last time you were telling me this job is relatively new,
Yeah.
and you're still kind of adjusting into it and trying to figure out how to balance school and work. And
Yeah. And I still am. And I think for me it's something I'm always gonna have to try to like balance because everything like in the outside, like at home and stuff, like all of that's always changing. Like for me, like I live with my mom, but like she always goes away and then she comes back and then like something happens over here. Like there's just other like environment, like I don't say environmental factors, but like things that aren't focused on like work or like school. Like my home life changes a lot, so it's kind of like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
you are making sense.
Like I just feel like I'm always gonna constantly be adjusting, and I'm giving myself like an excuse to not be able to balance work and school, and I don't know.
So I am hearing that you can definitely be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And that between school and work, those are enough. Trying to keep those under wraps. I don't want to say under control, but as controllable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But then other things come up that are not controllable, so that adds more stress.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
So how are you doing with anxiety and sort of coping with that?
Absolutely horrible. No, I mean not really, but I don't know. Like my other thing is like when like I'm so busy all the time. Like I go from work, and I don't like having school 2 days a week because I feel like I just want like one day of school and like just come to school once and like I don't know, it's just like such a pain. So like I come here 2 days a week and then I like do all I can to like finish the work like the other days of the week because I don't like doing anything on the weekends. Like I mean I still do, but like I like especially in the summertime. Like I want to go hang out at the pool, or like I want to go to the beach, and like I want to hang out with my friends. Like if they're doing stuff, or like in the winter, I get that an excuse to be like, no, I have to do homework. But like I want to do those things, so I try to do everything during the week, and then it just becomes like super overwhelming. But then like I used to I do see an outpatient therapist, but I've been canceling like every other week because I'm like, no, I don't have time to see you. Like I don't want to talk about anything. Like if I have an hour. I'm gonna drive and see you, and then I'm gonna sit there for an hour, and then drive another hour home. It just looks like it feels like just too much time.
Yeah, and that's something, instead of it being helping you, it's like adding another responsibility and stressor.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just don't like. I'm just not in the place to like be open and talk about things, and I think that's like my own. I'm just so overwhelmed with life. I don't know.
And you feel like that makes it more difficult for you to go a little bit deeper in the therapy process, you think?
Yeah. And like I'm just like always busy, I feel. But I also feel like I'm making myself be busy so I don't have to worry about anything or like do what I actually should be doing for myself. And like I was on medication for like a really long time, but I absolutely hate being on medication. Like I'm not a fan. I feel like I'm not, I mean, even though it's probably in my head too, but like, I feel like I'm not me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't like being on it, but it does help for like a little bit. I don't know, but I don't like being on it, so like, that has helped with my anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to a therapist has helped, but like, I'm making excuses to not see her, so.
Yeah.
And she knows that, like, I've been seeing her for like 4 years, I think, now, something like that. So, I mean, those are things that helped, but now since like those things aren't in my life, like currently, I'm just like, everything's too much, and I'm just like so hard on myself. It's just annoying. Like I get annoyed at how harsh I am, like self-criticize and stuff. Like just shut up. Like,
so it's not bad enough that you're criticizing yourself, but then you're criticizing yourself for criticizing yourself.
Yep, that's exactly it. And it's just like so much. I don't know. Like I'm just like overwhelmed, and I think it's also too because like summertime has always been my time to just relax, to like my mom went to the Cape this week, and like normally I'd go with her, so like it's upsetting that like I couldn't go. It's like I just want to relax on the beach, but like I can't. And like I'm just like I have to focus on this and do this. I don't know. Like I just feel like I'm not doing anything for myself, and like it's just everything's overwhelming.
It sounded like you were making an attempt to keep the weekends open.
Yeah, I mean I try really hard. Like last weekend I did, but then I was like, wait, I have a freaking midterm. Like I can't take any days off. So like last weekend that didn't happen. But this weekend I'm gonna go see Dave Matthews Band on Saturday with my boyfriend and a couple of our friends. So like I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. I just like feel stuck, kind of. Like I just feel stuck in my head.
Yeah, I'm hearing overwhelmed, stuck,
Yeah.
the anxiety.
Yeah, and it's like constantly like I'm just counting on the days until summer's over, school's over, because I work ends next Tuesday. I mean, then I have a week and a half off, and then I start summer school. Like summer work, summer school, at work.
Oh,
so I get time off for a week and a half, and then August 10th is the end of summer school for work, and then I get 3 weeks off.
Oh, that's nice.
And like I'm like literally, and then we don't have this. Like we don't have grad school at that time. Like we're done. I'm done August 1st.
So you're foreseeing a break in the not too distant future.
So I'm like looking forward to that, but like now I just feel like I can't enjoy any moment in my life right now. And like I don't know, I just don't feel good about myself. There's like just like weird, just like overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing that, and I'm just wondering if, I tend to go for solutions all the time, and I'm just wondering, how have you dealt with that successfully in the past? I know last time you were talking about, you got one of the highest grades, but I feel like you didn't give yourself credit for that really, or kind of, sort of, but not seeing as much of the victory in that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't even know. Wait, what was your original question? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just reflecting on you. You were telling me about you had gotten one of the highest grades you had ever gotten,
Oh yeah.
and you were just talking about being, self-critical. But you did bring that up, which I was glad. You recognized that. But I'm hearing more of the self-criticism versus
Yeah, it almost feels like it. Like what didn't really happen. Like I can't give myself credit, and then it's like now I have to do just as good, if not better. But it's like at the same time, I'm just like, kill yourself. Like it's fine. Like you're trying as hard as you can. Like if you don't get what you want, then it's still gonna be okay. Like. So, like, I just, like, fight between that. Like, one side of me, it's literally like the angel and the devil on both shoulders. Like, I can be, like, the worst critic ever, or I can be, like, it's fine, like, just breathe. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Like, you've been here before, you got through it.
right.
So, it's like, I can be very hopeful, but then I can be, like, what the hell is the point of anything that I'm doing? Like, I don't know. And, like, lately, too, like, I've just been, like...
Can I just pause there? Because I'm just, right on that point, I just want to ask you, what do you tell yourself at that point when you say, what is the point of me doing all this? What do you tell yourself about that?
I don't think I tell myself anything. I think that's just like when I numb out. To be completely honest.
That's sort of like your max when your cup is overflowing.
Yeah, it's like...
And then how do you check out? What does that look like?
I absolutely do nothing. I mean, like, in the past, like, when I was, like, in, like, low, like, really low points, like, I would stay in bed for, like, weeks. But, like, I don't know. I mean, I would never get there again because I, like, won't allow myself to get there. That was, like, a few years ago. But, like, that's kind of what it looks like. That's my, like, what's the point is, like, literally just being in bed and, like...
So I have to ask a closed question just for clarification. So do you have a diagnosis of depression and anxiety?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have so many diagnoses. Like, I just wish that I could go back and just, like, cross them all off because I feel like... And that's another thing. Like, I have all these labels, and it's like, what do they mean? Like
And does it define you?
Right, and then it's like, that was, like, so long ago that, like, do you still have a diagnosis if, like, it hasn't been around for, like, years? You know what I mean? I don't know, but, like, I still have to, like, check those off and, like, I don't know. So, like, I have, like, the depression, anxiety. It's, like, always there, and it's always, like, up and down. Like, I always get in, like, these weird stages of depression for, like, a couple weeks, and maybe, like, lasts a month, which may be where I'm at now, but, like, I'm more of, like, panicky, and, like, I have, like, panic, anxiety, whatever, anxiety, panic disorder, so, like, I get, like, super panicky, like, I can't breathe, like, I lose my breath, and, like, I haven't gotten there yet either, so I just feel like, in my head also, I'm just waiting for, like, the breaking point, and, like, it's almost like my breaking point is, like, staying in bed for, like, weeks on end, or, like, having a panic attack, or, like...
So that's what I'm hearing is maybe the anxiety comes first, and then at some point, I wonder if you're, I mean, from a strictly maybe physical point, but probably not, but almost like your body and your mind just get so tired of trying to deal with that anxiety to just
right.
crash and burn and, like, I don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So that's almost...
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And, like, right now I'm at the point where it's, like, I really have no idea. It's, like, I can't even, like, put my thoughts together. Like, I feel like I'm making no sense talking to you. Like, that's just, like...
That's how you perceive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels weird. Life, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot, for sure.
I don't know. And, like, there's just something about, like, just, like, clouds are going too fast. And, like, I don't know. I just want to enjoy my summer. And, like, just, like, I can't give myself, like, what I need right now.
For self-care.
Yeah, I'm just, like, self-love. And just, like, my head just, like... I mean, luckily I have, like, a boyfriend who supports me all the way, and, like, my mom has been there through everything, so, like, I have family, like, I have friends, and, like, I'm pretty open about, like, my past, because, like, I got through it, and so, like, I've, like, shared a lot of stories and stuff, and, like, I've written blogs and everything like that, so, like, I have a big support system, which helps a lot, but, like, when you do good for so long, it's almost, like, I don't know.
It sets that bar. We had talked about
like,
that.
Wait, so when do I ask my mom for help? Or, like, when do I tell her that, like, I don't know. Or, like, when you're, like, in, like, a bad place, people, like, keep asking me, like, are you okay? And, like, you're doing good, and it's, like, you don't hear, like, how are you? I mean, I guess you do, like, every morning at work, but like, you don't hear.
They want the short answer.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. That's just everything's just.
Well, I'm thinking, and it's funny because you mentioned support. I was literally just thinking about your support system and wondering how they.
Yeah, no, they're so good. But then the other thing, like, I'm so angry, like, now, like, when I get, like, super anxious or, like, overwhelmed, like, I get angry. Like, I live with my mom. She's my mom and I. So, like, I will, like, be so, like, rude towards her, and, like, she doesn't deserve it. Like, it's, like...
Kind of lash out.
Yeah, and then it's, like, with my boyfriend, too, it's, like, I'm, like, constantly bickering. It's, like, what is going on? It's, like, you're annoying me, but, like, that's not it at all. But, like, that's just, like, what I'll say. I'm, like, you're being a pain. But,
So
like,
it sounds like he's not quite sure what's going
yeah,
on.
but like he knows there's something going on. So like I just feel bad that like I'm like being rude too.
And how does that usually end up resolving or kind of panning out?
I mean normally it's fine. It just stinks because my boyfriend works nights right now. So like I only see him on the weekends and like right now I do. So like I'd like to see him during the week because I think that would help a lot. Just like spending time with someone. And, like, if I am studying or doing homework, like, he'll come over and be like, you've been doing this for 5 hours, like, stop doing this. Like, let's go get ice cream. And I'm like, yes, ice cream sounds so good.
Oh, good. So it gives you a little bit of
Yeah.
insight, it sounds
But,
like.
like, now I can't really see him that much during the week, so that's kind of benefiting. But thankfully next week's his last week of nights, so then we'll have the same sort of work schedule,
Oh, good.
which will help. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel, like, so confused in my head.
Sounds like there's a lot going on in
I'm
there.
being a horrible client because I have no idea. Like,
You're not
being.
being
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I really don't.
No, I mean, I certainly hear all these stressors that you're feeling and feeling, you know, with your history of anxiety. So it's especially difficult at times.
Mhm.
It sounds like, and you struggle with sort of beating yourself up about, you know, whether it's okay for you to feel that way. That's sort of what I was thinking last session too about, you know, you questioning the validity of your feelings or allowing yourself to feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, like I think like I don't allow myself to feel a certain way, or I don't allow myself to acknowledge that I'm feeling a specific way. So like I'm not really good like expressing myself. Like I think I learned how to do that like 5 years ago. Like what? Like I only knew like sad and mad, like and happy. But like there's so many other emotions and feelings that come between those, and it's like no wait, that's how. No wait, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I don't know. So like being able to have a definition for a word has helped me a lot. Like to know how I'm actually feeling. But I don't like to know like if I'm sad. Like I don't want to tell myself I'm sad because then it's like now I have to be sad. You know, I don't know. I just want to like black it off. So like in my head, I just kind of like white wall.
What I think I'm hearing is it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you acknowledge a feeling, then you have to live up to that feeling.
Kind of, yeah. And I think not even that, but like I just don't want to feel that feeling, especially if it's like a negative feeling that I don't want to feel.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna say it happened because I don't. I'm not gonna.
If I don't acknowledge you, you don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm happy, like oh yeah, I'm having a great time. Like, that's great. That's good. I don't know. I just.
And how does that look? That sort of trying to dismiss the feeling. How does that work out?
I mean, I think it works out fine for me, but my therapist tells me it doesn't. So.
You have a different opinion.
I know that it hasn't helped me in the past. Like it's never been.
What has? What has helped in the past?
Talking about my feelings. Even though it takes me about 20 weeks to figure out what I felt 20 weeks prior, so by the time the 20 weeks come, it's like, wait, I'm not feeling that anymore. I don't know, it's hard for me to like define. I don't know. I mean, I think like in the past, it's just like spending time with like people that I enjoy spending time with, like just getting my mind busy and like getting my mind busy, not like school or work or anything like that, but getting my mind busy just hanging out with people who I enjoy being with, and then taking care of myself. And I think the summer's always been hard for me too, because like just to have, I guess like my friends are like very skinny and they're pretty and they like to work out. So like in the summer, it's like I have to live up to like their expectations. So like going like dieting and like, which I don't diet. Like I'm not. It's not for me. Like I just can't because it just leads down a wrong path, and I'm very aware of that. But like just having that, like that causes me so much anxiety too. And it's like that having like those thoughts leads to other thoughts, and then it's just like one thing. It's like dominoes.
So it sounds like you recognize that that is a dangerous way to go. That's good insight.
But it's just like it just causes so much anxiety. Like I hate like the summer. Like it always like it's weird because like before I saw when I saw my therapist and it was getting warmer, like I immediately was like, I hate when it gets warm because now I have to wear shorts and capris and shorts and like I don't, and like immediately like there's some sort of like every like year after year she's like, you know that you say this every single year at this time, like you always get like very anxious and like around this time, and she was like it might just it might just be because I'm aware that I'm gonna go to the beach and be with other people and I'm gonna compare and yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and again, I feel like, well, I don't want to be problem solving, but allowing those feelings and letting yourself feel that way. And, I can definitely, it's funny because I've seen you take like 3 deep breaths after you vent and then you're just like, okay, so that's something I've just observed. But I was going to say, and this is something that came up last time too, was the comparing yourself seems to be an issue. And not uncommon, but, you recognize that in yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, a lot of the things that I've been just, like, saying, like, they're all things that, like, I've been doing forever and, like, I've gotten over the hump and road or whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm there. Like, at one point in time, I was never aware of what I was actually doing or telling myself, but, like, now, like, I know, like, I'm feeling anxious because, it is summer and it is warm and I have to wear less clothing and I can't wear sweaters and scarves and like I can't cover myself up, I guess.
Well, you could, but you'd be really hot.
Yeah. And like I don't know, just like the warm weather and like I enjoy the summertime. It's my favorite time, and like not being able like working all the time and dealing with such trouble with kids. I mean, not being emotionally disturbed, I should say. But like it's just like it takes a toll on you, like day after day, and then trying to focus on school. It's like. I was like, I'm not giving my all in either one. Like, I don't know.
Again, that self-critical voice I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just like, recently I've just been like super self-critical. That's pretty much all that it is. Like, I have so many thoughts and then I'm just like, you know what? I hate everything. But not really because I'm like, no, my life's so great. Like, sometimes I'm like, I'm so glad to be working and I'm so glad to be in grad school. Like, just
sort of acknowledging you are where you want to be. It's just super stressful.
Yeah, and especially right now, I don't know what it is. Like I mean, I think slowly it's been getting harder. Like the fall semester, it was great, it was fine, and then I started a new job, and then it wasn't horrible, like working full time and then going to class. Like it wasn't horrible in the spring. Like I felt fine. Like I really did. There's something about like the summer semester and. Even like just the kids at school, like their energy's crazy.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I don't know. So now I just feel off. And I think that my boyfriend working nights, like as soon as the warm weather started, like now I can't see him. And I mean, I have other friends, but like I'd rather just spend time with. Like I'm able to say no to other people. But like my boyfriend, I'm like, no, I want to see you. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like up there with the primary relationships.
Yeah. I don't know.
And he's an important support person.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And he's like sometimes able to recognize like my fears and like what I'm telling myself before I'm able to. So
he knows you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's I don't know. I'm just like everything's just like
Yeah. The summer it is an abbreviated semester. I mean, it definitely can, go by quickly and takes adjustment and, a different approach a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't think that was going to be the case, but maybe next summer I'll be there a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
as best we can, but it's an abbreviated, highly stressful.
It just seems so much like workload for school. Like, it just seems like so much more than.
Yeah.
And I'm not good with that. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know, feeling a little funky about it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're feeling a lot of funky sometimes with it, you know?
A lot of little.
So, we have about 5 minutes left in the session. One of the theories that I'm interested in is psychoanalytic, and it does delve into childhood as being a pretty big influencer on our adult lives. So I was just curious, and I know I asked you last session also, if there were times in the past where you think things may have sprung up, or are there any current situations with the stresses that you mentioned? I mean, I'm trying to think of a specific example, but I'm just trying to think how to word it best. How you feel your childhood stresses or development may come into play currently.
I mean, I don't know, like, I've always been, like, a super anxious little child. And, like, not depressed. I don't know, and I've always been, like, very self-critical. And then, like, I think, like, where, like, a lot of my anxiety came from was, like, I always struggled with school. Like, I don't know if I said this last time, but, like, I always struggled with school, and I wasn't diagnosed with learning disability until 10th grade. So, like, it, like, took so long, and, like, I struggled with school for so long, and then you're going to tell me that I have, like, a learning disability in 10th grade, and I'm just like, what the heck am I going to do with this? So then, like, I get put in, like, I had so many tests, like, hours and weeks of just, like, tests, and, like, at first I felt so stupid because it would be, like, 3 little blocks, and they're, like, make this shape. And I'm like, I'm freaking 16 years old, why am I making a freaking triangle of 3 blocks? Like, I feel stupid, and I think that, like, being, like, not, like, put down, but, like, I know they were trying to help me, like, figure out what learning disability was, but they made me feel so stupid. Like, I wish it happened, like, when I struggled in, like, 2nd grade, not, like, 8 years later when I was in 10th grade. So, like, that influenced me in high school a lot, I think, and then, like, my transition from, like, normal classes, and then I had to get out of all my friends' classes, and then I went to, like, level 1 classes. So there's, like, level 1, then there's level 2, which is, like, average, and there's level 3, which is, like, honors. So, like, I was in level 2, which was, like, normal, but then I got put down in level 1 for all my classes, pretty much, and then, like, I was always the smartest one in those classes. But it was such, like, stupid work, like, I just felt like, so then I just felt dumb, like, I was like, this is ridiculous. So I think that's when, like, sort of, like, that self-critic voice came upon, like, I feel like it's just the school just did it in a weird way, like.
So it wasn't anything external, well, I mean.
Just, like, the self-critic and, like, just, like, the anxiety that came after school was, like, you're so stupid, like.
You felt like it labeled you, and.
Yeah. And, like, it's not even, like, a diagnosis. It is. It's a learning disability, but, like, there's no, they, like, specifically were, like, but there's no name for what you have. It's just, like, comprehension, like, word comprehension. And I was like, what does that even mean? Which makes sense with the label, but I was like, how can I not have, like, I just have a learning disability, like, you know what I mean? But it always just put me down. And then, like, I always felt like I was never capable. I mean, I always did. So somewhere along the line, probably before that, like, I always felt like I was never able to, like, achieve anything. Because I always had that, like, learning disability and, like, the voice in my head that was like, you'll never get there. Like, you aren't good enough at something.
So not only did it come late, and it sounds like it was too little too late and maybe not the best approach, but it cost you a lot of, grief and self-criticism. It sounds like you felt it defined you.
Yeah, and I think just like being in school for so long, before 10th grade, and like finally getting this part, which I did enjoy after a while, and it helped me succeed in the long run. But like I struggled from like preschool to 10th grade, like in school, like I failed everything. I just felt stupid the whole time, like
before the diagnosis.
Yeah, like I tried so hard.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the support, like there was no label, so I had no teachers, like.
And you didn't know.
Right, so I feel like I just always felt stupid, and then like got the big diagnosis, and it took so long, and I was old enough to know that what was going on. I was like, this is explaining my life, and now I'm just like, I'm just not confident in like my schoolwork, and like not even schoolwork, but like at work even. Because I feel like that learning disability comes into play in a lot of different aspects of my life.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing that. Definitely hearing that. Yeah, so that's interesting. I definitely believe that childhood can have some pretty huge influence. You would think, years later, but obviously it affected then, the beginning, middle, and current. So unfortunately, we're out of time, but I appreciate you sharing and hopefully venting and getting some of that out.
I feel like I'm finally like, just feel good to let it out, even though I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know how I'm feeling. But thank you, it made me feel better.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. I feel the same way. I feel like getting it out and just having an attentive listener, someone who hopefully cares, it does help. I feel like too. So let's just do our breathing, centering, and then, quickly, sorry. I just wanted to talk about goals real quickly. That was one of our goals for this session, was to maybe come up with 1 or 2 short-term goals for, I would think, the anxiety and the balancing, but I want it to be things that you come up with and prioritize.
I think for me, really, it's just like that self-critical talk, like that I have all the time in my head. I don't know. It just needs to lessen. And I think that just comes with like work ending on Tuesday and like just taking a big deep breath when I walk out that I have a week and a half off. So I'm looking forward to that and kind of like re-energizing. Is that the word?
Yeah, recharging.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's really my goal, is to get to the end of the school year at work and just restart.
Yeah. So just to quickly kind of summarize some of the things we talked about, and I like those goals, and maybe you could even think about in between now and our next session, like some really concrete, small, measurable. I know you practiced this, and maybe you could share with me some things you've done in the past, and any new things. We can work on this together too. But I want to set small, achievable goals. That's a big thing, because we want, hopefully for ourselves and for our clients to be able to reach those goals and feel positive about it. So I'm definitely, there's the continued theme of trying to balance everything and the anxiety, and it's very challenging. I'm definitely hearing that, and empathetic to all that for sure. So, and I hope, like I said, we'll be able to come up with maybe some short-term goals to help. Cool. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We have to wrap it up because class is about to start. Do you want to do a couple quick deep breaths, or are you? It's up to you.
I'm fine.
You're okay?
I like the way session went.
Okay, great. Okay, good. We'll do it next time. We kind of went a little bit longer than.
That's okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Nope, not touchscreen. Not touchscreen.
Oh.